Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name is Dalton.
RJ.
Today we're going to be doing our first episode, the Flash Recap. This is week 7. We're going to start on week 7 this year. Basically, what this is going to be is if you didn't watch college football this weekend, we did for you. We're going to summarize all the biggest games of the week, all the ones that we kind of covered this past week. We'll go ahead and give you a brief summary. That way, in case you want to argue with your friends or your coworkers on who was the better team or what lost the team the game, we got that for you. You don't have to go back and watch the games. We'll start here with the Alabama versus Mizzou game. Alabama wins 27-24 at Mizzou. Great game down the wire. What looked like at one point could have been a runaway game for Alabama ended up not being. Mizzou played hard, played well. Alabama's offense, man. Let's go ahead and start talking about them. Time of possession, they look like a boa constrictor. They are choking the life out of other teams' defenses and keeping them on the field and tiring them out. That's whenever the run game starts turning, and that's whenever it looks a lot better. I said this previous week whenever we were previewing this matchup that Lottie Brooks was going to be a big character in this game, and he was going to be talked about a lot this week with Ryan Williams being injured, and that proved correct. He ended up coming through. He led the Crimson Tide in receiving yards. Ty Simpson continuing looks good. The good news, if you're a Bama fan, is it was a sloppier game all around, but you still came out with a win, and there was the opportunity for improvement, so that's a good thing looking forward. Enough about Alabama. Let's talk about the Mizzou side. They're the real deal. They're a good team. They're going to be a solid team. They're going to upset a lot. Or they're going to hurt a lot of teams' feelings throughout the year, and they're going to win a lot of games they should as long as everything continues to churn the way that it is. The defensive line for Mizzou is the real deal. The lack of ability to convert on third down is the realest problem they have. 1 out of 10 on Saturday for Mizzou, even though they went 2 out of 3 on fourth. Still not good enough if you're wanting to go. Bo Pribula throwing 2 interceptions. One of them, some people say it's the receiver's fault. Some people say it was an overthrow. Either or, not very good look. Alabama continues to be great on third down. Against Missouri's defense, they proved that they were still good. 6 for 17, pretty solid percentages there. But 3 for 3 on fourth, which was the main factor. Alabama continues to look good.
Alabama's a little sloppy game for Bama, but y'all came out with the dub. That's all that matters. But also on the Alabama side, I'm going to ask you a question. Well, do you think they'll have a lot of injuries, and do y'all think it's going to hurt y'all in the long run?
So this game for Alabama was really hard on us as far as the fact that Jam Miller gets injured, gets a concussion. Derek Meadows gets injured, gets a concussion. Several injuries, and you have a lot of guys that were beat up going into the week that still did not get the playing time that they usually would, and we already have previous injuries. Alabama, at the beginning of the season, their strength was the amount of depth they had at positions. You had a lot of starters that were playing second string for Bama, and now you're starting to see them have to play because the number 1 or the number 2 guy is injured. And Alabama really needs a bye week, but they don't get one for a while, and you got Tennessee this weekend. It's really Thursday. I'll be able to give you a better tell on it whenever you get the injury report. But I mean, hard losses for Alabama. The injuries are definitely going to play a point, especially in the depth department. As long as Alabama's offense can remain keeping time of possession, a lot of the injuries are kind of more towards the defense. As long as Alabama can continue staying on the field on offense, hopefully it won't show as much, but time will only tell.
I believe y'all's offense will still stay hot. On defensive wise, one more question, and we can move on to the Indiana and Oregon game. What do you think about Damani Jackson, man? What does he need to do differently?
Man, Damani Jackson, going in the season, he looked like one of the top guys in our cornerback room, and I don't know what's happened. He's playing flat-footed. He got Moss right there on it was either third or fourth down. Just a lot of things it was a key moment in the game. It really gave Mizzou that fire. I don't know if it's really a problem with him necessarily. I think it's maybe a lack of effort and just it's out of characteristics. This guy is not a bad player, but he's just falling onto hard spots right now. And just a lot of missed tackles, a lot of tackles that he should have made closer to the line of scrimmage that he's letting people just playing really flat-footed, not winning jump balls. Just not characteristics of him. And hopefully he can get that turned around because he's going to need to when we play Tennessee.
All right. Well, that's all I got to say. I mean, all y'all really needed was a dub. Don't matter how bad it was, how good it was. Y'all needed to get the hell out of Mizzou.
Exactly. Principle of going away in college football is it doesn't matter how bad it looks as long as you walk out there with a W.
Especially against a good opponent like Mizzou.
No doubt.
but we can go ahead and move on to the Indiana and Oregon game.
All right.
So Indiana and Oregon, 30-20. Indiana beats Oregon at home. I believe these are two definitely playoff contenders here. And Dante Moore had two crucial picks and crucial moments, and I feel like that was hurt Oregon during this game, and also they really couldn't get the run game going in the half, and that's what hurt them also. And also Mendoza played a hell of a game too. That kid's good. This Indiana team is really good. They might win the Big Ten. It's either going to be them or Ohio State, I believe. And this Indiana team is really good, and Oregon's also really good too. If they play this game two more times, it's going to be you really wouldn't know who's going to win this game if they play two more times. It's going to be a close game like it was yesterday. But you have anything else? Do you have anything else on this game to say?
I think if you're Oregon, you don't dwell on this game. You keep moving. You're a good team. You're going to be in the playoffs in the future as long as you continue to play like you've been playing. Mendoza, man, he's got to be the Heisman favorite at the moment. You just went to Eugene. You beat Oregon. Played a heck of a game. Indiana looking good. Kurt Cignetti is going to be probably at Penn State next year with James Franklin being fired today, which we'll talk about later in the show. Also, coming up, we'll talk about the Auburn-Georgia game, so make sure you're staying around. But overall, Oregon-Indiana, great game. Indiana looks like one of the better teams in the country and proved it in this game.
All right.
Moving on to our next segment, which is Ole Miss versus Washington State. You know, I got a lot of heat in the comments last week on a TikTok video that we uploaded as far as Ole Miss being disrespected, that they were the number one team in the SEC. Why are we even talking about Alabama?
Hardest team in the SEC, baby.
So, So now we move to this week. You play Washington State. You're a 32.5-point favorite against Washington State. You win by 3. You were losing a good portion of the game, maybe not a majority, but a good portion of the game. Lane Kiffin blames it on 11 a.m. kickoffs and that he can't get his team to play in 11 a.m. kickoffs they still practice in the mornings. He said in his press conference that he thinks that it shouldn't be a problem because of that. If you're Ole Miss, there's not a lot of things to take away from this game. Chandler starts off slow. He ends up heating up, finished the game pretty decent stats. Kwan Lacey is a huge bright spot for this Ole Miss offense. Whenever you see him, you see a guy who is fiery and competitive. If the whole team would have played like him, Ole Miss would have blew Washington State out like they should have. Defensive line stepped up at the end, notably Will and Cam Franklin. They absolutely made the difference in the second half for Ole Miss, which ended up winning the game in the end by 3. Right. But if you're Ole Miss, this is more of a wake-up game for you, and that's how you got to use it. That's exactly what Lane Kiffin said in his press conference. Actually, another thing he said in his press conference about Ole Miss's red zone offense is that the student section showed up just about as much as the red zone offense did. They were non-existent.
Yeah. Well, you're what, 32-point favorite? 22-point favorite?
So why are you depending on the student section to be there? Like, obviously, you want your crowd to be in the game, but still, you should have won this game easily. Ole Miss, slow starts and red zone struggles is their biggest headline right now. What you got for me, RJ?
Yeah, I believe so. Also, they still played a pretty good game, you know. But their red zone offense looked horrible. Not horrible, but it just didn't show up.
Notably, the first drive, whenever you get to the 3-yard line and you can't convert, and you turn the ball right back over to Washington State, and which they ended up punting that drive anyways, I'm pretty sure. But still, you got to punch that in and start the game and go ahead and started off on the right note.
And then also keeping Washington State on the field by dumb decisions on defense. Mm-hmm. That's gonna hurt you, man. That's what kept Washington State in this game.
No doubt.
I mean, Washington State was 2 and 10 on third down at conversions.
Yeah.
I mean,
just almost like costly penalties keeps Washington State in this game and keeps them in the game to be able to win it. Lots of stuff to clean up for Ole Miss, but really and truly, you got to win, get through, and continue to improve. Right.
Right.
What you got next for us, RJ?
Texas versus Oklahoma, man. Yeah. Texas beats Oklahoma 23-6, man. I feel like it was way too early for John Mateer to come back, man. I feel like he's hurt even more now. after this game. I
Even a
feel
little
like
bit
he
of
should-
pride hurting. Not even
He
if it's
should-
a physical injury, just pride.
Yeah, most def. It made him in Oklahoma look bad the way he played with 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
But Texas, man, look physical. I'll give it up for Texas O-line too, holding back that Oklahoma's defense, because Oklahoma's defense is still good no matter what. But Oklahoma's offense didn't show up, and also Texas run game was there also, made Arch Manning look a lot better. I mean, we're gonna talk about the AP poll. The last thing we'll do on this podcast, and I agree with Texas being ranked. They looked a lot better now. They only have 2 losses. In the preview, like I said, Sark will come out with a good offensive scheme and win this game. Like, I wanted to choose Texas, but Oklahoma just looked like the better team. Yeah. And Sark came out with a good offensive scheme and beat Oklahoma 23-6. And also, Texas defense looked really good, like they were expected to the whole season, but haven't. But this game, they look really good. But the crucial thing for Oklahoma is, where's the run game at? There's no run game at all for Oklahoma. You can't just depend on John Mateer throwing the ball the whole time. But that's all I have to say about this game. Do you have anything to say?
I agree with the fact that Mateer may have came back too early, but also let's talk about this, right? Arch Manning, slow start, second half was better. What won the game for Texas was the third quarter. 26 plays, 140 yards for Texas' offense in the third quarter. Only 4 plays for Oklahoma's offense in the whole third quarter. Special teams, kick return touchdown for Texas. That helped them push by as well. Overall, an impressive game by Texas. And this is one of the key questions that I feel like will be played out through college football, is the fact of 3 interceptions for Mateer. Is it the Oklahoma? Is it 3 interceptions for Mateer? Is it the fact that Texas's defense came to life, or is the injury just too much? And I think the Texas team improved. They were ranked, I want to say at 20. We'll review the AP rankings towards the end of this video, like RJ said. But overall, impressive win for Texas. Oklahoma's got to be able to get Mateer healthy and get this team back going. Other than that, I don't really have much. We'll move on to the Penn State Northwestern game. I don't even want to talk about the game. I want to talk about the drama that's going on at Penn State, right? Drew Aller gets hurt on the game-winning, or what would have been the game-winning drive if they would have won. Gets a lower leg injury. He's out for the season. James Franklin announced at the end of the game. Now we're on to Sunday, and James Franklin's been fired. So we got an interim stepping in. But the next 3 for Penn State are Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana. What is Penn State's roadmap? Where do you go if you're Penn State? And James Franklin has just been fired 2 weeks after taking Oregon into overtime, by the way. One more thing I want to touch on real quick. Listen to this. First team in 30 years now, to lose consecutive games at least 20-point favorites. I mean, just rough roadmap for Penn State. What are you thinking, RJ?
I think it was time to fire him, to be honest. They've been complaining about him ever since I think for 2 years now they've been complaining about James Franklin not coming up with the big games. Now it's the small games. You can't win against the small games now. So I think it was time to fire him, and I guess all Penn State can do from here is just move forward. I mean, you have nothing to lose now. I don't know what to say about Penn State, man. I mean, their defense is really good. It's just their offense can't score. So hopefully Penn State gets going from here on out. But I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be a scary one. No doubt. What do you have next for us?
Are you done with this game?
Yeah, we're done with this game. Let's go and move to the next one.
Okay. I got oh man. I got Auburn and Georgia, man.
This is gonna be the longest game of the podcast, right? We're at 15 minutes right now, so we're making good on time. But this one right here may cover the rest of the 15.
I mean, there's just a lot going on in this game. I mean, Georgia beats the Auburn Tigers 2010, and Auburn dominated Georgia in the first half, and after that, that tush push and it was a fumble. I believe that the nose of the ball went past the end zone. The tip of the ball went past the end zone. That means it's a touchdown, no matter what. But it wasn't. But also, at the same time, the dude from Georgia never went down. So how come they didn't get a touchdown? So it's bad officiating. But also in the second half, go and move the second half. Why are we running away from the jet sweeps, the inside-outside runs, and then the screenplays? Why are we making Jackson Arnold win the game by throwing the ball? Okay, he missed Singleton to go up 4 points, and I think started the fourth quarter, maybe towards the end of the third quarter. But still, I mean, why are we running away from things that are working? I mean, I feel bad. I feel so bad for Hugh. I want to feel bad for Hugh Freeze, but I just can't. You can't dominate the first half, have 220 plus yards in the first half, and then go on the second half and only have 20 plus. If it was if we actually competed in the second half, I would definitely blame this game on officiating.
Yeah,
but I just can't with 20 plus yards in the damn second half. We're running away from the things that are working. I don't know why. I mean, you can't call it on officiating in the second half. There was only one call that was pretty bad in the second half, where
it was the
timeout call, and that which had Georgia kick a field goal, but we still stopped them. I don't know, man. I thought we should fire Hugh Freeze, man. I'm sorry. I hate it for him.
Yeah. We'll kind of go into the individual controversies of the game. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my little spill here on the game. Some of the things that I wrote down watching the game, we're just rewatching the game. Auburn was dominant in the first half, like you said. What happened, right? Then we'll go to the next game. Running game is what happened, right? 26 rushes in the first half, 10 in the second half. Why? 50 yards total in the second half with 25 coming from the last drive. That's pitiful. You almost can't be mad with the refs because it's only your fault that you lost this game.
Right.
In hypotheticals, right? Did Auburn run out of plays? What happened? That's the main question. You got a new offense. You had a bye week to put it in. That's all you've done. It's a completely different offense. Did they run out of ammo? Georgia, if you're Georgia, which we're going to talk about this, they won the game, but they didn't win it convincingly, and they do not look great. 2 slow starting off football games. You got beat against Bama for doing it. You almost got beat against Tennessee for doing it. And you almost got beat against Auburn for doing it. Got to get off to faster starts. Is this a good Georgia football team? It potentially can be, but as of right now, they are not where they need to be able to make deep runs into this college football season. The argument that Jackson Arnold, got the ball. We'll go to the first kind of controversial call. You got 1:30 left in the second quarter. Ball does not cross the plane, so the refs say on the field it is ruled as a fumble. They review it for more than 10 minutes, can't find video evidence to overturn it. What most people are saying is that Jackson Arnold's hand slipped under the ball while he was crossing the plane, which caused it to be loose, not maintaining full possession, and then was finally punched out as it crossed the plane. What is your take on this? Do you think it was a touchdown, and is that a bad call?
Yes, I believe it was a touchdown. I mean, tip of the nose, cross the plane. That's all that matters. Touchdown, Auburn. So
did he have firm control? What I'm saying is, people are saying, remember this isn't Dalton, but this is people. What I'm reading online are saying that he did not have firm control crossing the plane because of the way his hand slipped under the ball. Saying that he maybe tried to reach and slipped his hand. And that is why. Do you think that's true, or do you think he had firm possession?
I know what they're talking about, but the tip of the ball is still, when he had full control of it, the tip of the ball was across the plane. So that means touchdown Auburn. So I don't know. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Fire Hugh Freeze. I want to say fire Hugh Freeze, but he is such a good recruiter, man. So
it's almost like get you an offensive coordinator in there that can do something and let Hugh Freeze recruit. But let's not hang up on this. Let's go to the next controversial call because I want to get through these, and I'm gonna let you give your spill on Hugh Freeze and what we need to do with him, right? Let's talk about this. You do this if you're Auburn. You get that, bad call, whatever you want to say it was. Georgia gets the ball on the 2-yard line. Make a stop. They don't make a stop. They drive the ball down the field. They run the clock out. They score. Or kick a field goal, sorry. They kick a field goal. But Auburn let them keep that drive alive by 2 costly penalties that were almost felt like frustration penalties. If you're Hugh Freeze, you got to manage your team. The roughing the passer definitely was a frustration penalty, and the targeting could have been the way the defender launched at the quarterback. So it's like you got to keep your players under control in a emotional moment, and I feel like Hugh Freeze failed to do that, which is a lack of coaching, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
I agree with you. Call a timeout, get your team together, calm them down, and go back.
You're still up. You're still winning the football game.
You're still up. Yes.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I fully agree with you there.
No doubt.
Because I think Georgia only really had 10 or 15 yards that drive, but the rest was on penalties.
Yeah.
So
we're just handing them field position, right?
Right.
We'll go to the next one, and this will be the last one that I'll let you go ahead and give your your heartfelt saying to Auburn fans and the Auburn University, the timeout situation. This is Kirby Smart's quote. I'll read it to you, and then you can give me your opinion on it. Smart made it clear that he didn't believe the Bulldogs were in any danger not getting the playoff and therefore didn't need a timeout. He said, I didn't need a timeout because we were going to get that playoff before the shot clock, Smart said. It was 2-1. We were going to get it off before the play clock ended. I didn't need a timeout. It was the fact that they were clapping. I wanted them to call the penalty on Auburn. What is your opinion? What do you think actually happened?
Kirby Smart's full of shit. I'll tell you that. He should be fined or suspended. I'll tell you that after that. Because you can't lie. Footage don't lie. You head up the tee to the official, calling a timeout because your team was not going to get that playoff. I'm going to tell you this right now. Your team was not. So, Kirby Smart's full of shit. He is. I don't care how much hate I get. Georgia are frauds. They do not belong in the top 10. They will not win the SEC championship. They will not. If they make the playoffs, they will lose first round against a good offensive team. Georgia are frauds. I don't care about Georgia fans. They can say what they want, but that's how I feel about Georgia, man. Honestly.
Yeah. Definitely a controversial game. One of the most controversial games we've had. Auburn seems to have been in a lot of controversial games this year, but this one was definitely topped it all. I don't know what you think. This officiating crew has got their work cut out for them, and you hate to see when Zebras get involved in games, but this weekend it definitely felt like Auburn had that happen. Let's move to the AP poll, right? Some of our biggest movers and difference makers. Indiana moves up 4, obviously over a good win with a good win over Oregon. Sorry, I'm all over the place trying to read different notes. We got Texas was unranked and moved up to 20. That's impressive, Boo. They look good beating Oklahoma. That's kind of what you expect when you beat the number 6 ranked team. I think they were previously. Oklahoma drops down 8. USC unranked comes into the rankings after beating Michigan. What are you thinking, RJ? Do you like where all the teams are placed with the top? Let's talk about the top 5 first. Ohio State being number 1, Miami 2, Indiana 3, Texas A&M, and then Ole Miss. Or we'll talk about the top 6 because we have Alabama sitting at 6. So you got Ohio State, Miami, Indiana, A&M, Ole Miss, Bama. Do you like the top 6?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the top 6. You can't really switch Ole Miss and Bama. I mean, Bama's has a loss and Ole Miss doesn't. So I fully agree with there. So that's a good top 6.
No matter how bad Ole Miss played against Washington State, you can't switch Bama because of the fact that they did not lose. Right.
Yeah.
Now I'll let you go ahead. We'll just do the top 10 here. We don't have to go through the whole top 25, or we'll do the top 15 either or. Because there is one team in that top 15 that I want to talk about. But we'll go we'll start at 7. Texas Tech, Oregon, Georgia, LSU. Do you like that lineup there? Texas Tech, Oregon, Georgia, LSU.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like Oregon should have dropped out. I feel like Oregon should be, well, I don't know, because Texas Tech 6-0. I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like Georgia should have moved down. because their offense is not great. I don't
Yeah.
like I said, I feel like they're frauds. But other than that, I mean, I agree. I agree with it.
This will be the last couple of groups of teams here. We have number 11 Tennessee, who will take on the Crimson Tide this Saturday night. Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, Oklahoma at 14, BYU. What do you think? Let's go. I'll give you a specific team. What do you think about Notre Dame being ranked so highly? Now, before you start talking about this, let me make this one point right here, and then I'll let you elaborate on it. Notre Dame is 13. They were 0-2 to start the season, but their 2 losses were to the number 2 ranked team and the number 4 ranked team, and it was by a total of 3 points.
All right. I mean, I'm just saying this right now. I don't know about this Notre Dame team, dude. I mean, you got USC to play this weekend, and then your next good game is against.
You don't really have a really good game, and
Not really good game, but you have USC, and then you got Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
really. And do I believe they'll make the playoffs? If they win against USC, yes, I do, because it's Notre Dame. They're non-conference. I don't.
The committee's put them in a spot to kind of make it. You know what I'm saying? As long as they,
yeah, no doubt. I mean, look at Auburn, and they lost against 3 top 10 teams, and they're not ranked. But I don't know, man. It's hard to say about Notre Dame. The last 3 games they've been playing pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the season turns out for them.
Missouri doesn't drop very much. They drop 16. Vanderbilt at 17, USF 19, USC 20, 21 Texas, Memphis 22, Utah, Cincinnati, Nebraska at the back end of things. Overall, you got Virginia sneaking in at 18. I didn't mention them either, but that's the Florida State beaters. Florida State, man, let's. I know this isn't supposed to be involved in this podcast, but we'll talk about them real quick. I swear it's almost like they said, hey, we're going to beat Alabama, but then after that, we don't really care what happens. They're just let's upset a lot of Alabama fans, and then we'll figure it out from there. What do you think about Florida State and Mike Norvell? Do you think Mike Norvell is on a hot seat, or what do you?
I feel like he is in a hot seat. If they don't go 8-4 or they have 3 losses right now, or 9-3, I feel like he'll be fired. You can't beat Bama and then just play like shit after that. It's crazy. You're making Bama look bad, man.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
But that's not the same Bama team that's been playing right now. So
no,
that's sure. Which is good for y'all, But
yeah.
But I agree. I agree with the last bit. Texas being Oklahoma, Texas look really good. They're 4-2. I agree with that. Maybe not 21. Maybe either 25 to 23, not 21. But it's Texas. They got a big brand, so you know how they're going to do. But
overall, really good weekend for college football. Really fun slate of games to watch. It was probably one of the more enjoyable. Like I said, flash recap. The intention is if you didn't get to see the 18 hours, whatever it is, 12, 18 hours of college football, you got to get a recap of most of the games here in 30 minutes, and which we hit that time span perfectly. We're at 29:18 on the clock, so we did our job in the fact of keeping it short enough to be able to get a lot of information in one video. But I think this is where it ends. First episode of Flash Recap done. RJ, it's been a pleasure, my friend. This has been the RD Podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ.
We'll catch you next.